First, open a new empty project on GarageBand and choose record using a microphone or line input. Make sure you know the exact inputs where you've plugged your microphones for your drums, and choose the correct input when you're choosing it from the menu. Also, make sure you select the correct audio interface, whichever you have installed, whatever it is. I mean, it could be Behringer, it could be anything. I'm using my Scarlett at the moment, so make sure that's selected. Choose the correct input. So I usually put in track 1 and input 1, I put the kick. So this is what I'm doing here. I'll name it kick. Make sure you name all your tracks as you go, because it is better in the long run, trust me. Then continue with the rest of the tracks. I usually put snare in second place. Sometimes drummers want to use 2 different microphones, one under the snare, one above the snare. So yeah, I mean, there's many different varieties and many different options. Just make sure as you are plugging your microphones into the interface, you choose the right input when you are selecting and creating new tracks. Right, and keep on going. That's it. So then you need to enable the record option for the tracks. Right click on any of the tracks, go down to configure track header, select that with left click, and then left click on record enable. As soon as you do that, you will see a little record button appear on each of the tracks. Click on one of those, left click on one of those. They should all get activated simultaneously. If they don't, make sure they're all individually flashing red. They need to be flashing in order for you to be able to record everything together. So now we're recording. As you can see, all 8 tracks are recording at the same time. For this tutorial, I'm not actually sending signal to all of the 8 tracks. I'm only sending signal for track 1 and track 2. That's why you're only seeing the indication on those 2 tracks there. Right, that yellow thing that you see on the top, that needs to be yellow in order to export everything to the right length, so that you adjust the length accordingly from above. You know, depending on how long your track is, it will be a different length anyway. So yes, and the only way to export all of these tracks, you need to export them separately, individually. Unfortunately, that's the only way to do it with GarageBand. I usually prefer to export stuff, export separate tracks as WAV files, and obviously the uncompressed 24-bit is the preferred quality for production if you're going to be sending them to a producer or to your bandmates or etc. Then yes, you should always solo each of the tracks that you want, to export or bounce. Make sure they're soloed before you export, and yeah, just do as I'm doing here for each separate track, and you will have your drum stems exported in no time. Right, there you have it. Don't forget to subscribe. Alright, giggity.